Mangrove forests, the natural walls that protect millions of people from cyclones, floods, and erosion, are shrinking faster than we realize. And when mangroves disappear, it's not just trees that are lost, it's homes, livelihoods, and entire ecosystems. Welcome to the 15th episode of Rooting for the Grassroots. Today, we travel to West Bengal and Goa, where fragile mangrove ecosystems are under pressure and where climate champions under the National Youth Climate Consortium are working with communities to protect these natural coastal shields. In the Sundarbans of West Bengal, the world's largest mangrove delta is slowly shrinking. Over the last 2 decades, the region has lost around 110 square kilometers of mangrove forests due to sea level rise and climate stress. Sea levels here are rising at about 5.2 millimeters every year, faster than the global average. Nearly 60% of the West Bengal coastline is now facing active erosion, forcing entire villages to shift inland as land disappears. And with 4.5 million people depending on mangroves for livelihoods and protection, every lost patch of forest means greater vulnerability to cyclones, salinity, and displacement. And along the western coast in Goa, another mangrove story is unfolding. Since 1987, the state has seen an 89% decline in mangrove cover, shrinking from nearly 20,000 hectares to just about 2,200 hectares today. Unregulated urban development, tourism pressure, and pollution across estuaries like the Mandovi and Zuari rivers have driven much of this loss. At the same time, the Arabian Sea is becoming more volatile with a 5-fold increase in the most intense cyclones since 1995. Ironically, while mangroves are legally protected, tensions are growing as their expansion into traditional Khazan salt pan lands creates conflicts with local farming communities. And yet, from these fragile coastlines, new voices are rising. Young climate champions are stepping forward, working with communities to restore ecosystems, bridge local conflicts, and rebuild the natural barriers that protect millions of lives. Let's now hear from the frontline champions who are taking the fight to the grassroots.
নমস্কার, আমি তরুণ ভারতের নতুন জলবায়ু চ্যাম্পিয়ন পশ্চিমবঙ্গ থেকে। Hello, I am Soumodip Bormon. I am currently doing Masters in Remote Sensing GIS from Adamas University, and here we use the remote sensing and GIS tools for the environmental and the other disaster monitoring and the planning. जब पहली बार मैं सुंदरबन पे गया, सुंदरबन पे मैं जाके मिला उधर का मतलब सबसे बड़ा सोशल वर्कर मैंग्रोव मैन श्री उमाशंकर मंडल जी से, जो सुंदरबन का सबसे बड़ा एनजीओ अभी चलाते हैं। तो उनसे मिलके मुझे यही प्रेरणा मिली कि कैसे मतलब सोशल इकोलॉजी, सोशल डेवलपमेंट, कम्युनिटी डेवलपमेंट और सस्टेनेबिलिटी डेवलपमेंट के ऊपर काम किया जाए। तो हम अभी क्या कर रहे हैं, मेरा एक पूरा टीम है जियो स्पेशियल एनालिसिस और जियो स्पेशियल एनालिसिस टीम का। अभी जो हम कर रहे हैं पूरा सुंदरबन में कैसे मॉडर्न जियो इन्फॉर्मेटिक्स एंड मॉडर्न जियो इन्फॉर्मेटिक्स टूल यूज़ किया जाए, वो अभी हम इम्प्लीमेंट कर रहे हैं। तो अभी यही टीम मतलब 6-7 जो जियो स्पेशियल एनालिसिस के एक्सपर्ट हैं उनके साथ सुंदरबन में काम करेंगे, पिछले मतलब 1 साल तक काम करेंगे। और जो भी मतलब उधर से क्या क्या इनपुट आते हैं उनको हम मिला के रिपोर्ट तैयार करेंगे और उधर का आपका वुमेन का एम्पावरमेंट हो, कम्युनिटी डेवलपमेंट हो और सबका एक मतलब रिपोर्ट मैं तैयार करूँगा। जब भी साइक्लोन आते हैं वेस्ट बंगाल के कोस्ट में, तो वेस्ट बंगाल के कोस्ट में साइक्लोन आने के बाद मतलब एक बड़ा इफेक्ट जो होता है वो कोलकाता में होता है। तो अभी जो मैनग्रोव्स है वो हमको मैनग्रोव्स को अभी बोलते हैं कि द वॉल, ठीक है, कि यही वॉल आपका साइक्लोन का जो साइक्लोन को प्रोटेक्ट करता है, यही वॉल आपका प्रोटेक्ट करता है। तो कैसे साइक्लोन का इंटेंसिटी कम कर सकता है, यही मैनग्रोव वॉल ही कर सकता है। तो आने वाले समय में कोलकाता के लिए और एक मतलब कोलकाता रीजन, चाहे वो हावड़ा हो, हुगली हो, आने वाले समय में इसीलिए मैनग्रोव रिस्टोरेशन और मैनग्रोव प्रोटेक्शन बहुत ज़रूरी है।
I am NYCC Climate Champion from Goa. My name is Priya Bharti and I have been working in the field of biodiversity conservation from past 3 years. My journey started from my master's degree in environmental science. which I did from Banaras Hindu University. After that, I got into an internship program from National Biodiversity Authority that actually accelerated my journey of being into biodiversity conservation. So I'll be working on the project Kharfuti Ambassadors, which is about building young community ambassadors for the conservation of mangroves in Goa. So my problem was actually the perspective of community people about mangroves. So people lost their fields to mangroves and they could not farm on it, they cannot produce anything. So they thought mangroves are enemy because they don't know what economical importance mangroves have. So my project is about awareness and capacity building, where I'll be including youth and I'll be training 5 Kharfuti ambassadors who will be then going on the field, interacting to the community, advocating for conservation of mangroves, along giving them ideas how they can generate livelihood from mangroves. They would be advocating for practices such as sustainable fishing, miswak cultivation, ecotourism, and food products made out of mangrove products such as Sonoracia apple or mangrove apple, which could be used to produce pickle in that particular area.
So what's happening right now? Across India's fragile coasts, young changemakers are stepping forward to protect ecosystems and communities that climate change threatens the most. In Goa, a climate champion, Priya, is building new generation of mangrove defenders through the Kharfuti Ambassadors program. By training local youth as trusted voices for conservation, she is helping communities see mangroves as shared ecological and livelihood assets. In the coming months, she plans to expand the ambassador network through mangrove walks, sustainable livelihood training, and deeper dialogue with government bodies. Meanwhile, in the Sundarbans of West Bengal, Soumyadeep is turning data into community power. By training 140 youth, known as Rhizo hackers, in GIS mapping and climate risk identification, he is helping communities map embankments and saline hotspots to guide mangrove restoration. Next, he plans to expand restoration work, pilot Salicornia cultivation as a climate resilience livelihood, and launch a community climate data dashboard.
Being part of TOT, I have learned a lot because I was working on mangrove conservation. I understand the concept, but shaping it, NYCC has helped me a lot.
To follow along on such stories of resilience and climate action happening across India, be sure to like, share and subscribe to our channel and explore more resources linked below. We're rooting for the grassroots. Are you?